The reMarkable 2 is one of the best-selling e-ink tablets ever made, and it was just replaced by the Paper Pure. I have both these devices. I've tested now both of them, and by the end of this video, you should be able to know if you should upgrade from the reMarkable 2 to the Paper Pure, or just stick with your 6-year-old reMarkable. Well, maybe your reMarkable 2 is not 6 years old, but the design and the tablet itself has been around for that long. So the reMarkable 2 launched in 2020, 6 years ago now. I know, it's been 6 years. And this kind of changed the game for e-ink tablets. It was the first e-ink tablet I got. Honestly, it got a lot of attention from YouTubers, and it was just more over the internet, and it introduced me to the category a lot more so. And as a starting e-ink device, I think it still is really well done. And it gave me a love for e-ink, and I will always appreciate it for that. But now I discontinued it in place of the Paper Pure, which definitely does not continue the same design trends of the reMarkable 2, and I think it has some objectively worse things about it and some objectively better things, starting at a $399 price range, which is what you could get the reMarkable 2 for recently, but it's the cheapest any reMarkable tablet has been at its starting price, which feels like the point of this device a little bit. But if you own a reMarkable 2, is it really worth spending another $400 on this tablet? This video isn't even directly about whether the Paper Pure is worth its $400 price tag. It's more about, is it worth it for reMarkable 2 users to spend that kind of money? So this is the 3rd generation canvas display from reMarkable here, and it's supposed to look about 10% wider. Maybe? I think this is a wider display, but I know 10% isn't a dramatic difference, but man, is it hard to see a difference at all. Now, compared to the Paper Pro, even the reMarkable 2 was a wider display than that already, because the color display grayed that screen pretty bad. So this is going to look really white compared to those. Compared to the reMarkable 2, it's just not really any different. And it's the exact same screen resolution. So all the text and elements on the screen, in theory, are displayed in the exact same way. Now, this is a newer display still, so it might be a little crisper, a little better at rendering everything, but the actual resolution is not different. I don't believe you will really be noticing the display differences to these side by side. I mean, writing in the same mechanical pencil tool, I can tell that the black ink just looks a little bolder on the Paper Pure. Like if I go back to that thick, put about the same amount of pressure, it just looks brighter of a black, bolder, which I do like that. I do like the e-ink standing out even more so. And yeah, it's just something about the handwriting does look a little neater and better, but the resolution's not different. It might even just be how it's interpreting the stylus even better, and just better processing behind the scenes. Totally a possibility. So truly, I don't believe the display differences are going to be something that you'll notice on a day-to-day. Better here, but you have to look for those differences to see that. It's not very noticeable. However, I do think you will notice speed differences. Even just opening and closing that window. Look at how much faster and even more responsive the Paper Pure is. It's not like the reMarkable 2 is super slow, but it is better. And if I close out of that, it's just quicker at getting back to the home screen, quicker at reopening. It was more responsive that time too. Zooming is a little more responsive. As you can see, I'm kind of at a much lower frame rate here on the reMarkable 2. Neither one of these have a fantastic zoom ability, but I would take the reMarkable Paper Pure over the reMarkable 2. The 50% difference, I think, is very accurate. Not world changing, but you do feel it. It is faster. Now the styluses, and this is where even I am having a hard time deciding which is better. I actually do think the direct writing feel of the new reMarkable stylus on their screen that they use is better than the reMarkable 2 stylus on its screen film, but not by a lot. And you lose out on the Wacom standard, so technically this could even have a Supernote stylus and have that work on this display, or an iFlyTech stylus, and those are all cross compatible. You can actually purchase other styluses if you like it for the reMarkable 2. I wouldn't either way. I think the markers that they come with work the best on the devices anyway, so it's not a huge downside or compromise to me, and I do think the actual feeling of writing with this stylus is better. But there's also another problem, and that's vertical lines, and I think this is the best reMarkable has gotten with this, but it's kind of those slow diagonal lines. As you can see, there's a lot of waviness in the Paper Pure, where there's almost none of that besides my wobble on the reMarkable 2. It's very accurate to where I'm actually putting the stylus. For handwriting, this is a non-issue. The handwriting engine on the newer reMarkables is really good at interpreting your handwriting super accurately. In fact, I think it's even more accurate than the old reMarkable 2. But when it comes to drawing and slowing down, making smooth lines and some curves, you might see that wobble. But I do think it's gotten better with some software improvements, where I don't really notice it as much as I used to notice it on the Paper Pro. So I don't know if that's device specific, or what's very likely is they just improved it via software. But just keep that in mind. I don't consider reMarkables to be made for drawing anyway. They don't really have a lot of drawing focused tools. But if you were hoping to draw on the reMarkable, just know that might be a limitation. Although they do have perfect shapes now, so you can snap a line perfectly straight. You can turn a circle perfectly into a circle, stuff like that. So that mitigates most of those concerns for the majority of people and their use cases. But if you're trying to do something really professional of a drawing on here, that might be your only downside. And then you have to charge the new stylus. And I think because of that too, I do overall prefer the reMarkable 2 stylus. Even though the direct writing feel is better with this new system, and latency is even better, I think as just a companion to the device, this is better, but barely. And there are still improvements here. So it's a trade-off. There's not one that's better than the other. Don't make your decision based on the stylus. Either one will be fine with its respective tablets. It's not a big enough difference. Then we talk about build quality. And this is honestly where I think some of you might be turned off by the Paper Pure. It is a thicker device at 6mm instead of 4.7. And it is a completely plastic shell. And honestly, not even the highest quality of plastic I've seen on a device. I believe that the Supernote Manta has a better quality plastic. And I mean, just look at this clean glass-backed reMarkable 2 with the metal ribbon on the edge and the metal rail along the whole border of the device. It was like the standard for premium e-ink tablets. And even the Paper Pure and the Paper Pro Move were a lot more premium feeling, although the Paper Pro Move did get a plastic back, but it did at least keep the metal rails, and I think that was a good middle ground. I like what they're trying to do here. They got some screws on the back here. I'm all for that part, where you can take off the back a little bit easier and get some more repairability, but the plastic build does make it feel cheaper, and that's exactly what it is. They made it cheaper to build so they could put it at a lower price point. That is just a fact of the matter of this device. Take it or leave it. I think it's a very acceptable compromise. It definitely makes it nice and light, and you feel like you don't have to be quite as careful with the device. But objectively, this is better build quality than the Paper Pure. But this is still a nicely molded plastic. I love the ridges to give it make it feel like a stack of paper. That's nice. I don't think it's too thick. 6mm does not feel like a chunky device by any means. And because it lacks the thicker bottom bezel, it feels smaller, more compact, and it's definitely lighter because of the plastic build, so it's easier to hold one hand. And I definitely like that part. The magnets that hold on the stylus are stronger. That's a better build here too. So it's not bad. And then the case for the reMarkable Paper Pure is more of a sleeve case, not a folio cover like every other reMarkable device. Maybe they'll make that eventually for this one, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's in the plan, or at least right now. It's not like it's a bad case. I just always think to myself, where do I put it after I've taken it out of its case? And where do I store the case? It just feels a little awkward to me to have that fully come off every time you need to pull out your reMarkable device. But hey, at least it keeps it really nice and safe, and it's definitely more padded and more secure than the folio cases. Now, what stayed the same was exactly the same software. Every option on both of these devices is precisely the same. Everything just pops up a little bit faster on the new one, but it's the exact same settings. Except this one has a set to landscape mode because there is no auto rotate function, where the new one definitely has auto rotate, which is nice to have that built in. But neither one has a front light. They both have the exact same feature set. They both can get the Connect subscription to get even more features. So the only difference in their control center views is that this one you can lock the orientation if you don't want it to auto rotate on you. Otherwise, they are exactly the same. The other thing to note that's different though is the reMarkable 2 has the pogo pin connectors for a keyboard case, where the Paper Pure does not have that anywhere on the device. So there's not even a possibility that they will bring that to this one. So if that's something you used often on the reMarkable 2, you're not going to find that here in the Paper Pure at all. And obviously the Connect subscription is going to be $4 a month for either one of these. That's about it, or $40 a year. Now you can survive without it. You just lose some of those integration features, a couple of the exporting AI features and handwriting search, a couple things like that. And if you don't use a note for more than 50 days, it will stop syncing it. Pretty decent compromise. It's like you can totally use the devices without the Connect subscription. People make it sound super mandatory. It's not that mandatory, but if you want some of the fun bonus features, you have to pay. Also, an important note is this has about 6.5 gigabytes of usable space. This has close to 22.5 of usable disk space. So you're definitely gonna have less of a chance of running out of storage. But this reMarkable 2 has a whole bunch of files on it, hasn't even used a gig. So unless you're panicking for more storage, then that's not a reason to upgrade. And speaking of reasons to upgrade, another one could be if your screen is kind of yellowed or damaged on the reMarkable 2 and you were thinking about repairing it, might be a decent time to get a new device that does everything this one does, but a little bit faster and a little bit better. And especially if you notice the speed being slow and bothering you, well, this will be nicer, but it's not like night and day different. It's not like a big notebook will never take some time to load. It's better, but not fundamentally game changing. And if you can see a bigger display difference than what I'm seeing, then that might matter to you more too. But side by side under my big bright light here, I'm barely seeing a noticeable difference. I'll try it in some different lighting environments too to see if I can catch it looking a little more different, but it's not much of a difference. Don't upgrade for that. Now, like I showed, the contrast is better on this device. So if you use a lot of PDFs, they will look better on this tablet. And I want to do PDFs on here more so. I haven't done a lot with that. I'm not going to go into that super in depth in this video, but I do know contrast is better, so PDFs will look better. If that's something you do a lot, it might be worth the upgrade. But if you're just using this as your daily note taker, you got plenty of storage left, and your reMarkable 2 is working just fine, don't upgrade. And if the software experience doesn't feel laggy to you really, well then again, don't upgrade, because the software here and the software here is exactly the same. And if you're a little hesitant to have another battery powered accessory versus just a stylus that never has to charge, well, that's a good reason to be hesitant as well. Or if you just don't want to downgrade the build quality of your device, don't upgrade. I mean, if someone handed me a paper peer to use for free in place of my reMarkable 2, I would say absolutely, why not? But spending $400 on an upgrade, no. Especially if you recently got this device, don't be wondering like how you can sell it and get this one quick. No, it's gonna be fine. They're still supporting this with the software, and until that stops, I don't really feel like the upgrade is that important. And I'm not advocating for them to stop supporting this software-wise, but I think they're still supporting the reMarkable 1, so it's probably got some time left to continue getting some updates over the next few years. I wouldn't go out and buy a reMarkable 2 right now either. I'd probably say go for the paper peer unless you have a really good deal on this, like $200. Okay, that might be worth it then. But this will definitely last you 10 years of software updates. And the build quality is not so much worse. And in fact, the writing feel I think is a little better. So this is definitely worth getting brand new. But if you have a reMarkable 2, stick with it. Don't upgrade. Unless those extreme edge cases, but then you probably already know who you are and you're already planning on upgrading. If you're kind of on the fence, stay with your reMarkable 2. It's worth it. All I have to say, the paper peer is a good tablet, and if you're new to reMarkable, it is a good entry point. The reMarkable 2 isn't dead just because reMarkable isn't selling it anymore. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't seen my first impressions video of the reMarkable paper peer, definitely watch that. It's been linked in the description down below. These devices were not provided to me in any way, shape, or form. I might be getting a version of the paper peer provided by reMarkable for future testing, but I got these units with my own money. No one sent them to me. I'm under no contract obligation to be nice here. This is my opinion on these devices. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel. It really does help us grow and be able to reach more people. And as always, have a great rest of your day.